the title suggests, it's a video tour of San Andreas, the island of San Andreas, which is a state in the United States, a fictional state in the United States. Right now, I'm on my yacht, and apparently it's snowing. Now, I'm the only one in the game, so we don't have to worry about going outside. The last time I knew, I was off the airport. Now, that's where I should be now, because, you pay $25,000 to move this wonderful machine, and it's never where you leave it. So I'm going to bring up the map. Let's see where I is. Yep, that's where I was, right off the airport. Coming up in regular mode games, just to see if anybody was interested enough to come over and test my air defenses, but nobody was. So I'll have to try again. It's pretty much just like baiting. You just sit out here and wait, because somebody is bound to come out and say, "Hey, what are you doing out there? What are you doing out there by yourself, being all quiet and stuff?" Well, come on out and find out. You set your access to no one. And anybody who shows up gets shot down. I mean, I saw it at a video on YouTube. There's a video out there. Just search for yacht anti-aircraft defenses, and you should well, as you can see, it is snowing still. And still being daylight, there's pretty much not a whole lot of view. That is the airport right there. That's the end of the runway. And visibility is down to not much. Alright, well, you know what? The question is, what am I going to use to tour? That is the question. I have several things, options. I can use a prop plane. I have 2 jets.
Hello, this is Pegasus Lifestyle Management. How can I
have
help?
helicopters. How about the Kraken? That'll be a good tour, huh? That'll take about 5 hours to go around now. You wouldn't see much. Let's see. I will be doing a Kraken video just to show you some things that are down under the ocean that you normally wouldn't even venture out to see if you play a lot of free roam. So let's see, what do I want to take? I want to take... Let's take the Vestra. I brought up the Vestra before. That's another jet. This was the first jet that came out.
Your spectacular aircraft is now ready for you at our nearest airfield.
Now, I'm assuming that airfield that's right in front of us is probably where the thing is. So I will get in my $3.3 million helicopter, which I wish came armed, but does not. And seeing it is the daytime, I am going to take a quick jaunt around my yacht. I had it done in Battleship Gray, named after a World War II aircraft carrier. I think it looks pretty good out here in the water. Very camouflaged. And it's got fantastic air defenses. Again, on YouTube, I saw this great video where this jet came right out of this airport and tried to go right over the yacht and got shot down. Now, I just want to know who gets the kill. Does the kill go to the owner of the boat? Or does it go to the somebody else? Alright, well. I don't even see my jet. No, see, now it's over there. Oh, there it is. As you can see, everything's quite snowy. Now, the last time I experienced snow was on PS3, not on PS4. Now, it does have... I mean, I made footprints in the PS3, and I guess the visibility is probably down pretty good. So this ought be an interesting flight. This is the Vestra. This is the first jet that came out that you could buy. You know, you still can't buy the laser. You gotta do some heists to get the Hydra. This was a pretty cool little jet. And Santa's gonna go for a ride. Already lined up on the runway. Everything's good. I am unarmed, and I'm going to fly around the island. It shouldn't take too long. Should be about a 20-minute video at the most. I just don't want to lose too much of where I am because I don't want to slam into something. Wow, that is really not a lot of visibility. It is a snowy, not so visibility type friendly. Well, there's the city. City shrouded in snow. Oh, see, now you just see a big blurry spot right there, but it says that this friend has joined this party and you can join too. So the snow effect is pretty good. And again, I like to fly from behind my aircraft so I can see what it's doing, what it's about to hit, instead of doing the first person thing that PS4 gave me. But just gotta watch your bank so you don't go slamming into a building. That's always good. See, there's some mansions up here around this pond, this reservoir, that I would much rather have than the ones that they gave to offer. These here, way better. I mean, I don't know who's picking these houses, but time to step away from reality a little and now the Playboy Mansion that's down here right off the golf course. Of course, I don't know where I am exactly, but is a really cool mansion. Now that would be really wild to have for a house. To be able to go there, make it like a clubhouse. Here it is right here, I think. Make it a clubhouse. Have all the girls there all the time. Do like bowling and anything competitive that you could put in there. And it wouldn't even have to be in there. You know, you could use the graphic anywhere else. Because when you're in your garage, I don't know, sometimes if you notice, if you start a mission from your garage, suddenly the view turns into the park in the middle of the city over here. It's because the graphics for your garage are actually stored under the park. So anything you do that's not in the regular thing, like if you went through a door and suddenly you were in a room or something, those aren't necessarily in the same building that you're stepping into. But the graphics are funny like that. For some reason, all the graphics for your garage, that's why they all look the same pretty much, is under the park. Because if you spawn in your garage, sometimes you'll notice that above you, if you're showing the upshot from the clouds coming down to where you are, it's in the park. Alright, so we've flown around the city a little. There's a dog track over here. I'm gonna or a horse track, one of the two, without nailing all the... And if you go up over the hills, it's another reservoir. And this is set up like the aqueducts at, you know, LA. There's a big dam at one end. The water comes down. It goes through the, like, the dry rivers. There's a lot of dry river stuff down at the bottom there. You can't, obviously not going to get there with the jet. And it's very difficult to see with the snow. There's a lot of towers. You got to stay up at a certain height. You don't want to slam into anything. There's a national security building just on the east coast. Alright, here's the dam. That water supply that comes down into the city. And eventually goes all the way to the ocean. Which is pretty much, because we're on an island, it's not like we're not going to hit ocean eventually. This is the highway. Going up into the outskirts of Blaine County. There's a wind farm up here, which is located right next to the coal-firing electricity plant. Or it might be a nuclear plant, not really sure. I don't see any towers there. So it's a wind farm. Some spin, some don't. There's a few different... I have a race that goes right through them. So we're in Blaine County. Or the outskirts of Blaine County by Sandy Shores. This is the backside of the mountains that are between Sandy Shores and Los Santos. Usually you don't hit wind turbulence. It's a nice scene. I'm going to go down a little lower just so you can check out the graphics. They're pretty cool. Because they've stopped updating the last gen. PS3, Xbox One, or Xbox 360. They've stopped updating them, so you don't get the snow, you don't get anything. Which isn't really great, but because they started on PS3, they should at least stay with the program, you know. But it's up to them. It all depends on how much they're making on it. What was the resale going from PS3 to PS4? What was that? That was a helicopter. I thought it was just a spot on my screen. I'm like, hey, what was that? Because I'm in regular free mode and not in a mission, I can get the cops after me, but I'm not gonna try. There's not much I can do with this jet other than just smashing into something that's gonna get their attention. Alright, so we're not gonna get too close to the fort down here. Right to my left, there's a fort called Fort Zancudo. I'm not gonna venture in that direction because they'll shoot me down. Maybe during a mission I'll fly over it, but covered bridge. There's a stream or river below me. Boy, there is a little wind turbulence down here. And it goes into the Alamo Sea, which is a big lake. Not really a sea. You gotta keep your altitude because you don't want to get too low. You know, can't really see where I am because of the lake. The lake is giving off a lot of fog. Now, there's a big mountain right there. It's called Mount Chiliad. That's probably like the biggest mountain in the game. Now, when you have mountains in the game, you have a lot of graphic space underneath them. So if they were going to come out with a DLC with a military and alien type thing, where you'd have to join the military to get military-style vehicles that'll be able to kill the aliens better than you could if you were using just your regular Rhino or regular laser or regular Hydra. And then you'd have to maintain your points. This is of course just speculation. This is my idea of a great DLC. And then all that space could be used for the alien base. The alien base could be based literally under Mount Chiliad, or Mount Josiah, or Mount Gordo. I mean, it's a huge mountain. A lot of space under there. I've made a couple of death matches, team death matches, had to do with the mountain. Oh yeah, it's like climbing Mount Washington. There is a little cabin at the top here, and a tramway that comes up on the other side. Then you go down Mount Chiliad into Mount Josiah, and there's like a little ravine that runs between them. Some trails go over the mountain. River. Bridge. I don't want to go to the left because the left is Fort Zancudo, so I'm going to swing left and then swing back to the right. Along the coastline. There's not much to see at this side of the mountain. There is a city up here, or a town. But I'm just going to swing the coastline. Just to see the view. You can see the tramway at the top of the mountain there. The bottom of the tramway is like right over here somewhere. Like right there. See the little town over here. It's got everything. It's got the LS Customs. It's got clothing stores and garages, and if you want to buy a house down here with a 6-car garage. It's not really convenience. It's on the other side of the map. Just depends on how your gameplay is. Come around this side, and this mountain right here is Mount Gordo. No, actually this isn't the mountain right here, it's the next one up. A little bit taller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing around the mountain. Try not to lose my train of height before I swing back. Wow. There's a little vertigo there. Couldn't see anything. I'm going to have to swing back around altogether. That was really weird. Alright. That's a nice sunset. And it's very interesting graphics where the sun rays are coming back from an on. I mean, it doesn't really exist. There is a lighthouse down here I want to go down and see, but of course can't see anything. I don't want to hit anything. Wow. Yeah, I'm just gonna head back. I don't embarrass the crap out of myself by slamming into something. I can't see anything. There is an airport near here. And I do have a vehicle near here, too. Of course, I can't see nothing. Wow. I know, I see that tower. Here's the airport. I'm not going to make that. Nope, I'm going to have to swing back around to make that. Wow, that just absolutely blew my mind how the visibility went from something to nothing. Woo! Well, that was interesting, huh? Well, I landed at Sandy Shores Airport. After a harrowing flight. Now, I could steal this thing. This thing is what it is really. In the game, it's called the Titan. In real life, the nickname for it is called Hercules. It's called a C-130. It's used in several different platforms. True carriers. It's used as like a transmitter to transmit out details and broadcast or whatever to like rebels, saying, go here and do this while we do this and coordinate with you. It's got a platform where it has guns sticking out the side of this thing. 105 millimeter howitzer, 40 millimeter Bofors, like they had on the battleships and older type warships, and they'd stick out the side here with like Gatling guns and all kinds of things, and they'd fly in a circle, and they'd fire at the ground. It's called an AC-130. So again, this thing, it was an absolute beast. It is a beast. When I played the mission called, what's it called? A Titan of a Job. And when you have to steal this thing, I'm flying it. I got it. I killed all the people. I get in the thing and I go to take off. And there's a couple of people that, like pull up and start shooting at you and stuff. And right when I was pulling out of the hangar, my controller went dead. And when the controller goes dead, that means the screen goes dead. So I'm struggling to find the controller, the plug or whatever, and I finally plug it in and get the view back up. And there I am in the middle of the runway, and they're shooting at me, and I have two engines on one side, on this side here. Not only are smoking, but they're on fire. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going for it. I'm just going to go for it, because what's the difference? I'm going to die, and the mission's going to be over. I'm going to be over anyways. So I gun it, take off. I'm flying through the air. It didn't really have any different characteristics as far as flight, like it would normally if two engines were on fire. And I made it all the way here. This is where you have to land. And I made it. And it was unbelievable. With two engines on fire. So if you're ever playing a Titan of a Job, and you have at least two engines on one side of the plane on fire, don't worry about it. This thing's a beast. You'll make it. All right, that's my Vestra. This is the Titan. On this pad over here, this invisible pad, where sometimes my buzzard shows up, is the Annihilator. And the Annihilator used to be better. At least it was in the Ballad of Gay Tony, where it had exploding bullets. And I could fly this thing unbelievable. In that game, I used to own that game, literally, when I had the Annihilator. Because I can make it fly, I can make it dance, I can make it go around a 45-degree corner. When people are chasing you through the city and you can just turn on a dime and they can't, they end up slamming into a building. You know how many times people rage quit? So many times that uh, it was happening long before I knew the term rage quit. All right, so just for the hell of it, I'm going to steal this. Hope I don't get too much of a wanted level. I don't know if the visibility is going to be any better. I might try to parachute onto my yacht, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to miss. I have no visibility until I get there, 10 feet before the yacht. All right, let's see. Where do we want to go? We want to go forward. Turn. I'm thinking this is probably going to be disastrous. Now, in PS3, we could get the door in the back to come down. But I don't think that's happening. Alright, well. Let's go for broke. Put up the wheels. No, we don't want to do that. Oh, we don't want to be that close. Just a little bit off. Wow. It's, well, I didn't get a wanted level for stealing it. I don't own one, so it's not like it was just sitting there waiting for me. It's a little slower than the jet, obviously. Big old prop plane. Well, it's got super props on it. I mean, it's been upgraded and upgraded and upgraded. It's an old type frame. I mean, it's been around since the early 60s, probably. Look at that city. Look at that city in the snow, huh? Approaching it? I don't know if I'm going to make it down between the buildings. But at night, look at that. In the snow. And a lumbering C-130. The glow from the buildings. And the snow around it. Yeah, it's been a half hour. Pegasus, we have moved your vehicle. That means they've reclaimed the Vestra, whatever it's called. Let's get a little lower so you can see a little more detail. See that all the trees are not necessarily snow covered. They do look snow covered from a distance, but then when you get them, they're snow glazed, The Vinewood sign, which is supposed to be marking the Hollywood sign, and which overlooks, I would assume overlooks Los Angeles and Hollywood. Alright, that would be into the sunset. That's the moon, I would assume. If it's going to get light at all, it's going to be to the... Let's see what time it is. It is midnight. Get too close to the wind farm. And like I said, there's there's a prison down there. They don't bother you too much if you're up high enough, but there's a national security building. They might get a little upset. Then there's like a laboratory that's down here. I think I'm well past them. It does bounce around a little bit. I mean, the plane is moving, and I'm not doing anything to make that bounce around. But I am going to run the coastline down here. Oh, is that the security? Oh, crap. That was the security buildings. I don't know what they do, but I don't necessarily want to fly over them. These hills up here, I've made at least 3 or 4 death matches. I did the Battle of Breeds Hill, Dorchester Heights, all named after like revolutionary battles. And tried to set them up as much as they would have had them set up. Like in the Battle of Breeds Hill, I put a lot of yachts, not like big yachts like mine, but yachts, sailing yachts, in between them, so it looked like there was like a lot of ships were in the harbor, you know, just like it was in the Battle of Breeds Hill, which is also known as the Battle of Bunker Hill. Alright, well, I'm coming over Terminal Island. I want to hit that crane. I want to maintain a certain height. I want to be able to see the friggin' island so I can know my height. Now my yacht should be right over here. There's the airport. Can't see squat. Wow. No, I couldn't see that ship for the life of me. I can barely see this runway. Well, now I can see it, coming up on it. I don't have my wheels down. And I'm going to have to come around again to land. That was an interesting tour, though, huh? Going around the jet first and then picking up the C-130. I'm going to maintain a certain height, because once you take this corner, you can't tell what your height is until you get there. Well, this is going to be an interesting corner. Now, you just want to let go of the accelerator just a little bit. You don't want them to stall. You want those props to keep moving. Every time I accelerate, you get a little smoke that comes off them. Alright, wheels down. Then you can push the deaccelerator, which is the opposite, what would be the L2 for me. So if R2 was accelerating, L2 would be deaccelerating, which would be going backwards. So this is the Los Santos International Airport. And we might as well just back this baby right into where the Titan usually is. Remember, you're going backwards. Oh, there's already one here. I always forget, because I'm... which way the thing is going. Not perfect. Yeah, they all have the same number. This one's going to have a 973 on it, too. See? All right, well, we've seen everything we've seen to see, right? Came to see? Seen to see? Of course, I'm going to have to run all the other side of the airport just to get a helicopter, maybe? Anything down here? Even a small plane to get me to the other side? Nobody's car? Come on. There is a small plane. That would get me to the other side. There's a few missions that involve these buildings. Titan of a job was whenever I parked the Titan. There's a job up here called that finishes up here called Los Santos Connection. That was a really good one. Am I gonna find another plane? And I'm gonna have to run all the way back. I might as well run across the airport. And I'm thinking no. And this thing doesn't move, so I don't think I could take this. Nope. I'm screwed. I was better off taking the plane. Because I want to get back out to my boat. Yeah, I might as well run all the way across. Well, you know what? Because if I go all the way over there and there's nothing over there, I'm going to be double boned, so I'm going to have to take the plane. Oh, is there more than one? I didn't pass two, did I? I could probably land. This thing moves so slow, I could probably land it on the friggin' jet, on the yacht, but I don't want to blow up, so. I pretty much don't want to take off either. I just want to pretty much cut across the runway. There's usually a helicopter over here. If not, I'm going to be swimming. Oh, I see a helicopter. Yeah, yeah. I believe I see a buzzard. I see something. Okay, it's not a buzzard. This is what's called the cargo bob. The cargo bob can lift things. Literally. It's got a little hook. I don't think you can buy it anymore, because I'd definitely buy it. Because you can carry things with it. What's that say on the front? Radio and electronic control access. Oh, okay. It's pretty much just a lift helicopter. I don't think I've never seen it open up. That would be cool if you could load it with a crew and use it on a mission or something. Well, there is use it on the mission. You do use it on the mission called Coveted. See, I gotta push this, the right-hand side thing, and I can lift things up. Here's the hook. All I have to do is fly over it, and I can hook right onto it, pick it up. What, you won't hook onto it? Come on, hook onto it. No? Alright. I don't think I can lift the C-130. But you know what? Let's try. You don't know until you try. And they're both still there. Ooh, sun's coming up. No, there's nothing to hook onto. For some reason, you can hook onto cars really well. Let me hooking onto that at all. Let's see if I can find me a car. Shouldn't be too difficult. It's Grand Theft Auto. I should be able to find a car. Sometimes there's one over here. Oh, there's one. I'm not really great at this. Oh, it hangs pretty good. I'm not really sure what it's hanging on to. Whoops, come on. Don't knock the thing off of there. Look at that. You can barely see that out there. That's where the yacht is. Wow. I don't want to get too close. I mean, I can see it on the mini-map, but wow. I can't see shit. Alright. I'm probably going to get a wanted level for dumping this thing. If I dump it on the land. Come on. Turn to where I can see what you're doing. See what height you're at. And I'm assuming this is release. I guess if I would drop it over the land, it would explode. But, alright, I'm going to see if I can land on the yacht with the bob. And I get a shot of the bob. I think the back pad has probably got the Buckingham on it. It's also probably a little too small. Not to mention this is probably too small. Alright. No, we want down. Does that say? Do not climb on the fuselage until rotor blades have come to a stop. Lots of life. Loss of life and or limbs will occur. Oh, well, hey, that's great advice for the cargo Bob. And system up at the top there too, but I can't. Suppose if I go up the stairs here. Definitely want to get a shot of this thing on my... No, I'm not going to be able to jump up on that thing, huh? No step. Yeah, no kidding. Not going to be able to do anything, huh? Huh. What if that thing opens up? Alright, well... Alright, well, I guess we gotta end this Mickey Mouse broadcast. And back on my yacht. I guess I'm gonna do a couple of missions. Oh, look at that. I got right back in that thing. And was able to take off. Interesting. So, yeah, I'm just going to brag a little, show you my boat. I love the color. Didn't want a white one, you know. It would stick out like a sore thumb. I wish I could shut the lights off at any time. And, of course, there's a lot of things you could wish you could do with a $9.2 million yacht. The lower floors, all kinds of games, stuff like that, you know? It was interesting, when I was in the regular free roam on the yacht and I plotted a new course, after the course was plotted, it put me downstairs ready to go into the cabin on the outside. So I didn't have to traverse all the way from the top down to the safe spot inside the cabin. Another thing is when you have your AA defenses on, not only can't brandish your weapon inside, like you wouldn't be able to brandish a weapon inside your apartment, but you can't brandish your weapon on deck. You cannot have access to your own weapons on deck when the AA system is on. Now, I'd like to see some more videos on people testing the AA system and didn't mind dying for it, you know? If they came up on a Sea-Doo or Sea Shark or from another yacht. I think that would be cool. And then just to see what the killing, or if there would be a killing at all. Is the anti-aircraft only after aircraft? Or is it after boats? Would it be after somebody shooting at it at the shore? Now that would be cool. Like a return bullet program. Anybody shooting at the ship, the bullets would just reflect back to them. I mean, this is finally the defensive position that you can go into a game and be completely confident that nobody's going to come out and screw with you. There she is, the new USS Enterprise, CV6. Battle ready. Alright, it's a 50-minute broadcast. I'm going to end it right here. Pushing the right button. Have a wonderful Christmas.